Hey everyone, how you going? So I have a bit of a stash share for you today. Of course I did. I signed up to the Created by Gwen Cut to You site. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I will leave a link in the description box below. And she sent out a freebie cut file for everyone that I think it was for all the subscribers. I'm not sure, but this was the freebie. And I've cut it. It's about 6 inches wide, and I have this giant photo of my little boy. This is my youngest. It was taken last winter. Obviously, we were at football. He was not happy, but maybe I'm being mean, but it's just an adorable little photo of him. I just love his little face. So I decided to print it really big. It's a little bit smaller than A4. I'm not real happy with this section of the photo. So I'm going to back my cut file, probably do a bit of mixed media, and go from there. So I'm thinking that I will pull out my Boys Rule collection because it's amazing. If you don't have it already, I do recommend you get it if you love it. So I'm going to back my cut file and go from there. So I'm back, and you can see exactly what I'm doing here. I'm just backing my cut file with the 6x8 paper pad from the Coco Vanilla Studio Boys Rule collection. I find it easier. This is obviously just my preference, but I find it easier to trace the shape, add the glue to the cut file, and then stick it down, mostly because I'm a bit of an unco, and I'm concerned that I would end up cutting parts of the cut file off. So there you go. I am only going to show you a couple of pieces because this is not the most exciting thing to watch in the world. As you can see, I am literally just doing the same thing over and over again. This was really easy to back because it's all triangles, and I love this cut file. I can see me using it lots of times as well. I'm using my Scotch quick dry adhesive to stick it all down, and there it is, all done. I am going to do some hand stitching around the whole heart along all those solid white lines. You can see I'm just punching all my holes. Now, I did start here with a fatter needle, and as I started going around the edges, I noticed that the needle was making the paper tear. So I do change over to a smaller needle, and I do recommend a thinner needle if you are going to do the same thing. I've left I think 3 or 4 stitches in here for you to have a look at. It's a simple back stitch. You start at the back and thread it through the first hole and then back down. If you want a more better description, leave me a comment. I'll see what I can do for you. But that was my file all backed and sewed, and I'm just tracing around the edge where it's going to be up again on the photo. I've also backed it with some foam. I did use my Scotch tacky glue again for that, but found that it wasn't sticking that fantastically because of the thread, so I do end up using my hot glue for that as well, and I use my hot glue, I think, to stick the whole thing down, maybe? I'm not sure. Of course, I wanted to do some mixed media in the background, starting on some white cardstock, and I've got this text stamp that I recently purchased, and I just pulled it off the stamping block so I could get that messier look. I used some blue StazOn ink, which I recently picked up on special, and then I've got, this is a Viva Las Vegas stamp. It's like the Punchinella. I love it. I'm using a grey ink there. Another Viva Las Vegas stamp, and this is all the little crosses. I love this one as well, and I'm using my black VersaFine just for a little bit more definition than what the grey and the blue give. And I really love the little bit of stamping I've got there. I just dried that off because the VersaFine takes forever to dry, and I knew I was going to use water. Back to my favourites. I love my Distress Oxides. They are seriously cool. You will see that I just smush the colour onto the packaging, add some water and smush it onto the page. I do dry each colour after I smush it on. it does reactivate when you add a little bit more water, but if you dry it off, the colours seem to layer a bit better and mix a bit less. Well, a lot less actually. So I started with cracked pistachio, then I think Mermaid Lagoon, Faded Jeans, and Stormy Weather. That grey is beautiful, I love it. And I've just added all those different colours along that strip there, making sure I'm happy with how that's looking. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to come back in, yeah, with splatters for each of these colours. Oh, no, I'm adding a bit more of that. I think that's Mermaid Lagoon. Now, splatters? Yes, splatters. I was originally just going to put each colour on top of where I smushed it, but then I just decided I'd go a bit crazy with the splatters. And I really love how this looks in the end. I'm really happy with it. And again, I'm just drying off each colour as I go. These colours layer beautifully on top of each other. If you haven't used them, borrow your friends and have a play. They're awesome. Love them. Last one is the Stormy Weather. No, last one is the Faded Jeans. I found that I get a bit carried away with this colour quite frequently, so I tried to be a little bit more light-handed with this colour than I ordinarily am, and I'm really happy with how it came out. I flipped over my cardstock to apply adhesive to the back of my photo because I know me, and I would find the one and only wet place on my background and manage to stick his face in the mixed media mess. Now, I'm not really sure what happened, but somehow I do not have the last bit of my process recorded. You can see I've used those tiny thickers from Paige Evans' collection for my title. I've used a flare and a couple of the ephemera pieces from the Boys Rule collection. Pretty quick and simple page. I am in love with Gwen's cut files. I cannot wait to get some more out and have a play. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll be back again very soon with some more fun pages. Thanks for stopping by. See ya.